Hey, what's up YouTube? Angelson here, and I'm bringing you a match on Daisetsu's in Basin, and my opponent is Kenshin AG. And I will title this match, How to Not Matchlock Spam in Camp on Daisetsu's in Basin. Alright, I'm going to go over army composition real quick. Firstly, you can see small unit sizes, and my opponent did not tell me so. So, you can see I have one unit of Yari Ashigaru, 2 matchlock Ashigaru, I have 2 bow warrior monks, then I have, what's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lone swords, then I have another Yari Ashigaru, Naginata monk cav, 2 light cav, and 2 grey guard. And we'll look at my opponent's army, and it's the general. That's it. And before the fight, he told me he was experimenting and blah blah blah, and I figured, oh, okay, well, he didn't tell me his small unit sizes, so obviously he's going to be matchlock heavy or whatnot, since they obviously have a greater advantage in small unit sizes. But then, like, my fear is starting to kick in, and I thought, okay, well, maybe he just has a bunch of matchlocks and a fire rocket and maybe some spears and whatnot. No. First I see the fire rocket, and I'm like, oh, great. Then I see 2 bow warrior monks, like, okay. And then before you know it, all these matchlocks start popping out. I think it was 16 matchlocks. So there's this whole army composition. 2 bow warrior monks, a fire rocket, his general, and 16 matchlocks. And you can kind of guess where they're going. You know, even if it's an experimental army, first of all, don't do your freaking experiments in Matchmaker. Not an experiment like this, at least. All matchlocks, that's pretty... Okay, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say things like that on my account, but it's a pretty bad move. I mean, there's no honor or integrity in that. And he's like, well, I told you I was experimenting. Well, you know, I don't want to experiment with this kind of crap in Matchmaker, so it's unforgivable. Either I'm going to beat you or I'm going to lose to you and be really mad. So, I see he's going for that corner. So my goal right now is to get into that forest and maybe use my bows to knock down as many of the matchlocks as I can. But unfortunately, ammo seems to run out so much faster on small unit sizes as well. So instead of trying to, you know, use my bow monks and decimate, you know, 1, 2, 3, or 4 units, my idea is to pepper as many units as I can just to get them low on troops and present some type of morale penalty before I try to charge the rest of my you know, army in. So you can see my opponent, he has strategically placed his troops on this very, very nice hill. And if you look at the backside, this is all cliff face. My troops cannot climb this. 'Cause I thought, you know, maybe I could sneak some cav back here or whatnot, but no. This is impenetrable cliff face. And here is his army in this nice strategic position. He just got them up here, but he's going to perfect their matchlock box here in a minute. So you can see him, you know, start to arrange his units. And I have my light cav over here hugging the red line border, which he is camping. And I have my great guard down here, and now I'm starting to position the rest of my army. And I sent them up a lot of this way on a walk because I just did not want to get my men tired. There's no point. I knew what he was doing, and I'm not going to run my men as fast as I can. I'm going to let them take their sweet time getting there. So let me put this on fast forward again. So now you can see he's readjusting all of his lines, you know, making sure he covers that flank, you know, against any cav. And I'm trying to position my bow warrior monks. So I start to move them up, and then I remember he has fire rockets. So I had to be really careful and try to leave my bow warrior monks in this tree cover. And I also have my, have I dismounted him yet? Yeah, I've dismounted Chesty. He's dismounted. And the rest of my troops are just hiding out in these trees. And now you see his fire rockets are actually shooting at my bow warrior monks, but I don't think they do any damage whatsoever. probably just because I had my units in this tree cover. So now I'm just trying to pepper and, you know, tease as many of these matchlock units as I can, which unfortunately, you know, like I said, if I had known he was going to do this, I would have brought like 2 more warrior monks at least, because these guys are going to run out of ammo quick. But you can see I'm just trying to effectively get fire onto all these front units and weaken their morale. And then I decided to get the brilliant idea of, okay, well maybe since they're all matchlock Ashigaru and matchlock Sams, I can take out his general. So I try to bring my bow warrior monks up to target his general, but you know, I realized after a few volleys I'm just not going to do that much damage, and it's just not worth losing all my arrows, you know, just to kill a few of his bodyguard units. So you'll see that in a second, but then I resume, you know, just trying to pelt all these matchlocks units. I'm trying to just shift fires and keep them firing on different units, as you can see from this play here. But unfortunately, you know, they only have so many arrows. And here I'm trying to shoot his general. I mean, how many volleys was that? That was like 2 or 3 volleys, and I didn't even kill 1 unit. So I decided, okay, that's a bad idea. And he's moving his bow warrior monks back down, so I had to move my guys back to tree cover. I'm not really worried about his bows at all. And right now I'm just, like I said before, trying to spread out this fire, get as much damage as I can to as many units as possible, just to try to weaken their morale. But I really can't reach this right flank. All these matchlocks are strong. And you can see I have these Naginata monk cav down here. And I was going to try to get a flank or a rear attack on his archers. And yeah, that was a big mistake. I thought I would be safe from these matchlocks. I didn't think they would have good visual on me and be able to shoot me down. But oops. But they did, and they pretty much tore these Naginata monk cav up. Yeah, you can see right there, they have a clear field of fire. That was definitely my mistake. And those guys are not going to last long. So at this point I am completely out of arrows. And I decide, you know, since my bow warrior monks have no arrows and they aren't going to do much anyways, I'm going to throw them out front with my Yari Ashigarus as a meat shield. So that's precisely what I do. And then I have my light cav. I went ahead and sent my light cav in first down that flank. And I was hoping just to get mixed up in his lines, distract him, and kind of confuse him while I push up the rest of my forces. Which I guess kind of worked, but not as well as I would have hoped. So now I have my guys rallied. I didn't want to throw down and stand and fight yet because I didn't want to target my general with matchlock, so I kept my general back. I should have probably put him in stand and fight though, because I don't think he was really trying to go for my general. And now I'm just running all my troops in, and I decided to ram my 2 units of Great Guard just straight through all of these matchlocks and go for the general. My only chance right now is to kill that general. And you can see these melee units down here, they're just losing fast against all, what, 7 of these matchlocks. But I do manage to get my cav through and start attacking his general. You can see, gosh, I have so many units that are just routing now and did not make it that far. It's funny though, my non-veteran lone swords actually made it pretty far before they routed. So I've got him tied up on this left side, and I don't want him to turn his matchlocks around and start firing into my infantry body. So I'm trying to maneuver these guys back out to hit the matchlocks, but keep a Great Guard unit there to finish taking out his general. And that's precisely what I do. Keep this 1 Great Guard unit back to, you know, keep on his general. And I've got my matchlocks down here. They're firing into his crowd. And finally, his general goes down. And after that, it doesn't take much to, you know, get the rest of his army down. But yeah, that was a really annoying fight. So if you're going to test some BS builds like this, don't do it in Matchmaker. Do it with your friends in your clan. But hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully you never have to face this.